Good morning, guys. Welcome to this week's episode. Don't know where to start. We're allowed to work on the boat. So we've got the special piece of paper. We're allowed to get cracking on the boat again. To be honest, I've been sat here for about 10 minutes looking at the boat, trying to decide where the hell should I start with this project. Anyway, stay tuned. Enjoy this week's episode. Boat works are starting again.
Hi, we are Erica and Davy, an adventurous, slightly crazy couple who has taken on the challenge of restoring a hurricane-damaged catamaran. It isn't easy, but we are seeing progress from all our hard work. Subscribe to our channel to follow our journey. You must tell yourself, no matter how hard it is or how hard it gets, I'm going to make it.
Morning, guys. So we're back down here at the boatyard. Just thought I'd film the front gate because now they've suddenly put up so many more signs. They seem to be coming new signs every day. Hey, we've got the dogs come and welcome us. All right, anyway, guys, let's go crack on. Back to work. Monday it is. All right, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the boatyard. Welcome to this week's episode. So, fingers crossed, this permission's going to work. Everything's going to go smoothly, and hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we're going to be back in the water, enjoying the Dominican Republic. First things first, we haven't been here working for ages, and when we had to pack up, we had to pack up everything real quickly. So I've started to try and pull out some of the tooling. So we've got all the batteries are on charge, finding all the power cables. I think I need to do a bit of tidying and sorting this morning. Also, the storage shed is just packed to the top. JC and the boys have just been down here, and he's gone off to find the rest of his team. He wanted to come through, see the original piece of paper himself that gives permission. So he's happy with that. He's gone off now, and he's going to grab the rest of the boys. So hopefully just after 8 o'clock, when we have permission to start work, that's when we'll get cracking. All right, guys, so one of the first jobs I'm getting cracking with here is actually to finish everything that's under the waterline. Few of those jobs being, there's 2 water inlets, so through holes for both bathrooms and AC units at the same time. There's a depth sounder and 2 underwater lights. So what I've done is I've gone around and I have pilot holed everywhere where I want it. But because we already put the anti-foul paint on, I've been told by a friend of mine who's a surveyor that we really want to get this back down to epoxy barrier coat before using a polyurethane glue to glue them on to get the best adhesion. So I'm going to clean these areas back before installing everything. Alrighty, guys, so it's going pretty smoothly this morning. So what I've been doing so far, I showed you I drilled the pinholes for all the through holes. Just one little section here. This is my depth sounder, and this is the through hole for the water intake for both the toilet and also for the air conditioning unit. So you can see that I sanded it back first, and then what I've done, I used the pilot hole to actually put the bigger holes in place. I've given them another light little sanding now, and I've decided what I'm going to do is going to put more epoxy barrier coat on them. So from the outside and from the inside. So the polyurethane glue that I'm going to be using, which is a Sikaflex brand, will actually stick to it nicely, and it means everything will work and seal better. Also done back here for the underwater lights on both sides, and also done the through hole for the toilets on the port side. Good morning, guys. So day 2 back in the boatyard. The boys are here today. I'll show you, they're running around little ants up there, organizing everything, getting everything ready. I'm going to continue today back with what I was doing before, which was the through holes for the bathrooms, the depth sounder through hole, and also the through holes for the underwater lights. The epoxy barrier coat is cured beautifully. I've given it a light sanding. I'm going to go around and do that on all of them. I just did it on the one for now. Then after that, I'm going to have to do some adjustment on some of the parts that we got here. Give me 1 second. So what we've got, these are the new through holes we're going to be using. We've got the bronze ones. As you can see, they're a bit bigger than the originals. So I'm going to be cutting these off ever so slightly higher than the ones that were in the boat before. Because I think maybe some of you remember back a couple of videos, and it was actually very difficult to get them off. So I'm going to add an extra centimetre, so I've got a little bit more play in case we need to do some adjustments later on. So cutting these down. Also, we're going to be installing the underwater lights, and we've got the new plastic through hole fitting for the depth sounder. So that's today's little mission. First of all, then let's cut these pieces down to the right size so we can crack on with it. So I know I keep jumping around between job to job, but I've got the through holes, basically everything's prepared. The through holes are cut down, the holes are made, epoxy barracoats on, ready just to glue them in. Same with the underwater lights. Reason I'm jumping around so much is because we've got the boys here working. I don't want to get in their way. They're working in both the hulls and I need to work from both the inside and the outside. So I'll jump back to those when I've got a bit more time, and actually maybe when there's nobody else here, because I can just crack on with that myself. Been a bit of a mission this morning. PVC windows from the donor boat, all cleaned up, removed the fiberglass framing from them. So that's those ones there. Everything sort of stacks up here. These ones are the front windows. They're actually too long because they changed the design between 2008 and 2014. So these are going to get cut down. Got a good friend of ours, Craig, who's going to be coming to give us a hand. This one's going to be the nav station window. Again, too big, they changed the design. And then down there we've got an oval, which is a hull window. And then we've got the port side saloon window, which is the correct size. This one's the correct size. So we've got a few windows to trim up, but at least we got them ready to go now. And Craig's coming to give me a hand on Thursday. So within this episode, we might even get some windows in, or at least them prepped. But we got the Sikaflex, we got the primer, we got the windows. Just need Craig with his router saw to give me a hand. So stay tuned. Good morning, guys. So it's all go in the boatyard here this morning. If you remember a while back, we actually changed out this escape hatch here. But I never actually got round to the other one because we had problems with the handles, but we've now got a delivery of new handles. So I'm going to tackle this one today. Hopefully this should go smoother because now I've learned the technique that I have to use an angle grinder to get it off and then put the new one on. So that's going to be my mission for this morning. The boys are cracking on. There's lots going on, lots of fairing, lots of sanding, preparation for paint. We're still waiting on a tent, but we've been told hopefully in the next couple of days a tent will be erected around the boat so we can do the spray painting. Anyway, let's crack on this morning and see what we can get accomplished today.
So in case you don't remember, our boat, the windows, the escape hatches, they were recalled before we even bought the boat. So we did get brand new hatches sent from Fountaine Pajot. It turned out they're not as easy to take off as the video shows it. It is much easier if you just cut them off just to install the new ones. But we're super happy. They look much nicer and they're also much safer. The new design is fantastic. So we're super happy with the new hatches.
Alrighty, so just got the dinghy back. I lent our dinghy to a couple of friends because they were having motor problems. Just got it back. So this dinghy has been in the water for a while. Last time it was cleaned was less than a month ago, and check out the growth. The waters here in Lupron are super full of nutrients and everything grows here so fast. So I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the bottom off of here, sand it, let it dry, and then I'm actually going to put some anti-foul paint on the bottom of the dinghy. So it'll match the catamaran.
So again, this week we really have been jumping around from different job to different job, but there's just still so many different small bits and pieces that need to be done before we can go back in the water. So we're cracking on. The team is doing a fantastic job preparing for paint still, and we're super happy.
Alrighty guys, so we got to the point where we're going to start working on the windows. I got my buddy here, Craig, who's giving me a hand because he's got the routering tool we need. So what we're actually doing right now is we're just testing up the tooling on one of the pieces of plexi that came out of the boat. Because we've got the pieces from the donor boat, but we don't have any spares. So we're definitely doing a bit of experiments, cutting, chamfering, all that sort of stuff, before we get on to the actual windows we need to make sure they're good. So anyway, wish us luck.
So this is actually one of the jobs that we've been most nervous about. We don't want to crack or damage any of these windows. We were lucky to find them on the donor boat here in the country. They are super expensive to buy brand new from Fountaine. So we're just super happy, but a little bit nervous to do this job.
All right there guys, so it's going really well. We've already shaped the nav station window. We've adjusted the window for the port side, and now we're working on the two front windows, which we've had to cut down because this boat is actually slightly different to the donor boat, as in they changed the design of the mold. I'm actually hindering Craig here right now. Anyway, he'll put up with me. That's what friends are for. So yeah, these are going to be the last two cuts basically, and then it'll be ready for installation. So the windows are now prepared. Everything's good for tomorrow morning. Craig's going to come back, give me a hand to put them in. But if you look here, these windows are a lot longer. We've shown you in the time lapse what we've been working on. But using the routering tool, everything is fantastic. These are still going to need some polishing to get rid of some small scratches, but that's something we'll deal with later. But super happy we can actually install these tomorrow, and we'll actually be weather tight. So this is fantastic. I'm going to take you for a little walk around the boat and show you the other progress that the boys have been doing. So yeah, let's go and have a look upstairs. So as I said, I'll take you on a little bit of a tour, see what's going on. As you can see here, sorry it's a little bit windy, we've now started to get the primer on the top. We're using the epoxy barrier coat 370 ppg as a primer, so that's gone on the top. We've still got a bit of sanding to do and priming around the windows ready for tomorrow morning, because we want to put the windows in. But going along the sides here, it's actually difficult to see where the damages were. They've put all the primer along the sides here and ready for, well, basically we want to put some primer on so we can sand it a bit more and see if there's any imperfections. But it's looking really good. So let's go and check the inside. We're going into the starboard hull, which is our side. I'm going to take you down, show you around down here. So in our stateroom, not sure if I've shown this on video before, but there was a big repair that had to be done here. This has been done and done painted. This was actually me that did this one. But going into the midsection, the boys have been working here this morning. They've been done the fairing, the sanding, and now they've got some primer on there. It's starting to actually take shape. Pretty much everything's getting back together. We still got some sanding to do here on the ceilings, but the cabin top is pretty much done. And down in this hull here, the fairing's being done, but everything's being worked on today. But it is lunchtime, so the boys are sleeping. So I'm not going to disturb them anymore. Going to let them have a little nap and a siesta, and I'm going to go get some lunch myself. So I'll see you soon. Alrighty guys, so it's going quite smoothly here this morning. We haven't had any issues. And what I've been working on is the through holes. I showed you before that I did the pin holes. Then after I did sanding around, so I got through the, what's it called? The, yeah, start this again, that was crap. I should know what anti-foul is. Alrighty guys, so it's been a very successful morning. We've got the windows prepared now. Everything's ready for tomorrow morning, but everything's good. The panic is now over. We didn't crack anything because we didn't have a second chance with the videos. We only had a one-shot go. But the cutting, the what's it called? The using the tool on the side, that sounded shit. Start again. I'll say okay. I'll say that didn't work very well, did it? He's a big guy. He might not look big on camera, but he's about the size of the palm of my hand, and Erica won't go to sleep tonight. What? That was the fan. She's that freaked out, she can't do nothing. So we're going to try and catch him. And now what do we do?
Now we put the lid.
This is hilarious. It's just a spider. They catch bugs. Can you fall in?
You gotta move it more.
We should have a piece of paper to slide in.
I can get you a piece of paper.
Seriously, if I do this, you're going to jump on me, I'm going to freak out.
Sue's gonna love this. She loves spiders.
Yeah. We just set it free, we're going to put it back in the bushes.
But far away from here.
Seriously, you gave me the permission to work on the boat? That's just perfect ending to the day.
We had copies.
The piece of paper that we have to actually legally work on the boat is the one to catch the spider.
Don't drop it, babe. It's all on you.
Seriously, I also don't like spiders.
Is he gonna fall in yet?
I think he's gonna fall in. He's on the piece of paper. So what do we do next?
Okay, so then we have to slide that in on top of the piece of paper. But He's on the piece of paper, so put
I
this.
want him in the bucket.
I know, put this on top of the piece of paper and then you can get the thing down.
Seriously? This is gonna make the best YouTube video ever.
Well, I'm kind of missing it slightly. Can I do anything to help?
If this thing jumps on my shoulder, I swear I'm gonna scream. I know I'm.
You're good, babe.
I know I'm the good one. I think we've got it. I think we've got it.
Nearly. Okay.
I think we've got it.
Yep.
Ooh.
Careful, 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 careful.